Someone is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Pay attention. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder. For my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family. Someone is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Pay attention. Somebody drop in the comments and say, I see your deception. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, I see your deception. Now, this video is probably going to be one of the most important videos that I have made this entire 2025. And the reason why, y'all, is because we are so used to seeing people come off the bat being manipulative, right? We're so used to seeing people come right off the bat of being a butthole, being mean, right? Or showing that I want to take and drain from you. However, we're not used to seeing people who talk our talk. We're not used to seeing people who walk our walk, which means they wear the same clothing, they talk the same language, but they don't embody the same essence. They don't embody the exact spirit. They don't embody the same doctrines or beliefs, right? They just act like that. You know why? Because they're trying to eat you, right? The wolf wants to eat sheep, but why would he come to the sheep looking like a wolf? They're just gonna automatically run. They see his teeth, they see his claws, they see how hungry he is, right? So what he does is portray himself to be a sheep. So the easiest way a wolf can eat a sheep is if he's dressed up like a sheep. Therefore, all the sheep are gonna come and crowd around him, or at minimum, he'll be able to blend right on in. Which means he's looking to, or she's looking to camouflage, right? But within this video, y'all, I'm gonna give y'all all the signs of a wolf in sheep's clothing. These are the most dangerous individuals that are on this planet, right? I'm gonna tell y'all this right here, y'all. One of the most dangerous animals that live on this planet is a fake friend. And that is exactly what a wolf in sheep's clothing is. They portray themselves to be your friend. They portray themselves to be your family. They portray themselves to be on your team. But in actuality, y'all are a conflict of interest in their mind because their goals are totally different. A person who's on your team is the same, or the individuals who have the same goals as you. Make sense of what I'm saying, y'all? That's why when you even think about a marriage, if a person or if those people have two different visions, it causes division, which leads to a divorce. That's why you got to have one vision. And that's why I say, y'all, they're not on your team if it's not one vision. They're not on your team if y'all don't have the same thoughts, or not even just the same thoughts, but the same beliefs, doctrines, similar paths, right? We're going in the same direction. Understand what I'm saying, y'all? That is a wolf in sheep's clothing. They're just trying to eat you. He see you as a meal. She see you as a meal. But with that being said, family, we're going to get directly into this video. As y'all can see, we are outside taking a stroll, y'all, here at the park, the legendary field, the green pasture, as I call it, y'all. The waterfall is out. The goose and geese, and whatever the case is, y'all know what I'm trying to say. All right, nature is naturing, y'all, and things are definitely beautiful outside. You know, y'all, here in Atlanta is very strange because it's been raining here for like 2 weeks straight. You know, even the forecast can't even tell you when the weather is gonna be like whatever it said it's gonna be, or the weather can't be accurate no more. And the reason why, y'all, is because we are in the last days. I'm not trying to scare nobody, you know, before people start saying, Reno, don't talk like that. You're trying to scare us. The reality is, y'all, we are in the last days. The ozone layer doesn't even work no more. In the summer, it be feeling like winter. In the winter, it be feeling like summer. Then it be raining for days straight. I mean, it don't know what it want to do. So it's not just only Atlanta. It's really everywhere around the world, right? But anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and get directly into it. I'm sending nothing but love, peace, prosperity, and happiness to the family. All right. And if you're having a terrible day, hopefully this video is a pick-me-up video to let you know, y'all, that things can always be much worse. So appreciate your blessings, family. Drop that down below in the comments. Appreciate your blessings. All right, y'all leave a thumbs up on this video, as well as subscribe to the channel. Yes, sir. Not only that, y'all, but y'all be sure to ring my bell so you can be notified after every single video I post. Let's get right into it, y'all. So first sign, y'all, of a wolf in sheep's clothing is number one. They are worldly. Yep, they are worldly. Let's talk about it, y'all. See, I don't care if they are a worldly person, a worldly Christian, a worldly Muslim, a worldly Jehovah's Witness, a worldly spiritual person. They exist, y'all. Or just a worldly person overall. I don't care. Worldly is worldly. See, what is a worldly person? A worldly person is a person who participates in worldly activities, right? I know y'all heard the scripture, y'all, where it says you should not be of the world, but you can be in it. Like, we can't help to be in the world. Where we gonna go? Mars? We're gonna go to Jupiter? We can't go no other place. We have no choice but to be in the world. But see, you don't have to be of the world. Make sense what I'm saying, y'all? I know this may be terrible timing, but I gotta say this because it's gonna make my point. Y'all remember when Diddy was like in the movie, not real Diddy, but in the movie, the guy who played Anton Fisher, in the movie he said, my business is in the streets. I'm sorry, y'all, my business is not in the streets, it's about the streets. Which means, hey, we can talk about, shoot 'em up, bang, bang. We can talk about what's going on in the streets, but we can't actually participate in the streets or else we won't be able to be millionaires. We're going to go to prison very soon, Biggie. Think, right? So that's the same thing with this right here, y'all. You can be in the world, but not of it. The problem that I have with worldly people, right, is that they portray themselves to be something, but in actuality, they're just like everybody else. Worldly. You ever seen a person just stay on their phone? You know why they on their phone, y'all? Scrolling on Facebook, scrolling on Twitter, scrolling on Instagram, right? Not trying to portray myself as being perfect. I get my scroll on every now and then, but the difference between me and those individuals is my discipline, right? The difference between you and them is your discipline. You know how to say no, or it's enough. But the point is, y'all, is that the reason why they're on their phone so much is because Instagram embodies the entire world. Facebook embodies the entire world. Twitter embodies the entire world. You can see the news. You can see the latest celebrity. You can see the latest thing that just happened. I mean, family, just by looking at this, looking at social media, we've seen that it was a guy who survived the India air crash, right? The aircraft crash. And it was 242 people on that plane. He was the only one who survived. Amazing, right? But how do y'all think I knew? Y'all think I went to India and found out? No. I was on social media and I seen it with my own eyes. The problem is, y'all, they embody worldly activities. So what I'm saying is a worldly person is a sheep and is a wolf in sheep clothing. Because if you was a true sheep, you'll be figuring out ways how to get off of social media. You'll be figuring out ways how to defeat lust. You'll be figuring out ways how to defeat your temptation. You'll be figuring out ways how to defeat those demons that you're fighting. But those who are a part of the world, they are inviting demons because that's where the demons stay at. They in the world, right? Y'all, I don't have no problem with the BET Awards. Nope, I don't. I don't have no problem with, award ceremonies and, people who are icons of this world being recognized. I really don't, y'all. That's not evil. The problem that I have with it is worldly. See, when you are in the world, you begin, or when you become of the world, you begin to care more about what's happening in the world than your own household. You begin to care about what's going on in the world than the world around you, right? So a worldly person scares me because if the world is only out to kill, steal, and destroy, if the world is only out to, live a life of how people were living in Sodom and Gomorrah, if the world is, if the devil is the controller of the world, that means that those who are in it are being controlled by the devil. Why would I want you to be around me? You are worldly, right? That's like taking a kid who's only learned how to manipulate, how to steal, how to kill, how to be a pimp, how to be a player. Everything that they learned was take. I'm sorry, that sweet little kid that you know, he ain't sweet. She ain't sweet no more. She's learned, or he's learned, that behavior that was in his environment. Worldly people have a mentality of take, kill, steal, destroy, make fun of, ridicule, persecute, right? And see, when you are opposed to that, you become their main target. Y'all follow what I'm saying? Somebody drop in the comments and say, you won't eat me. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, you won't eat me. So, family, whether it's the BET Awards, Hip Hop Awards, whether it's, who got beat up late, who got lately, who had a mass shooting. I mean, all these worldly events, y'all, whatever it is, okay? When people indulge in it too much, pay attention to those individuals, because they are really wolves in sheep's clothing. Because if they were sheeps, they would try their best to stay away from worldly activities and worldly events and not try to indulge in it so much, y'all. I ain't trying to go on a rant on this one, y'all, but I really had to break it down of what a worldly person is, all right? Number 2, y'all, lack of eye contact, all right? Lack of eye contact. So most times, y'all, those who are wolves in sheep clothing, they don't want you to see how dirty they are. They don't want you to see how conniving they are. They don't want you to see the deception. So they always are going to look elsewhere. They're going to look over here. They're going to look to the left. They're going to look above your head, right? Hoping that it throws you off. Hoping that you don't see who they truly are, right? Let me explain something, y'all. When a person is able to look at you directly, eye to eye contact, they don't have nothing to hide. I trust a person as far as who they show me to be if they are able to look at me in my eyes. You know why? As a chosen one, a person who's not chosen, or a person who has not accepted God into their lives and that spirit, right? That unworldly spirit, they won't be able to look at me or even withstand my spirit. So if you can withstand that, it says something about you. Pay attention, y'all. If you got that godly spirit that I'm talking about, if you have that spirit of the Most High, y'all, that chosen spirit that irritates people, it's almost like when a person start playing gospel music or spiritual music or something like that, how they got to get up out of there. As long as we playing Glorilla and Meg Thee Stallion and Moneybagg Yo, right? Who are some dope artists, for what they are, for the type of music that they are making. However, the type of music that they are making is destruction, right? They are being controlled by other entities. We all know that, but we turn a blind eye to it. But the point is, y'all, is that if they can look at you in your eye, this person is likely not to be a wolf in sheep clothing, but a person who got to turn every time you talk to them. They looking over here at the McDonald's sign, over here looking over here at Charlie them. Yeah, they are the same individuals, y'all, who will try to eat you because they don't want you to see their intentions. They have something to hide because they're trying to hide the windows to their soul. Number 3, y'all, their words don't match their actions. Their words don't match their actions. Now, I know we spoke about this a lot, y'all, but this is a part of a person being a wolf in sheep's clothing. Their words are not going to match their actions. They're going to say, hey, I'm going to feed you, and I truly mean this. But the action said, you didn't want to feed me, and you really feel bad for me, or you really feel like I'm going to owe you something, or I have to owe you something after you feed me. That wasn't genuine. That wasn't real. You only did it because you was going to get something back. And most times, y'all, they want to invest a little just to get a lot back in return, right? They're con artists, con men, con women, okay? So their actions are not going to match their words, right? Even in the Bible, y'all, it says that don't believe, and I'm paraphrasing, y'all, but he says don't believe what he says, although he tells you that he says that you can eat, right? He don't mean that. Family, it is better for you to eat crumbs with bums than share a steak with snakes, y'all. I'm just going to keep it all the way 100 with y'all. So their words are never going to match their actions. They're going to give you all these sweet words. I mean, sometimes, y'all, they may even look you in your eye. It's going to seem so sincere. But the reality is, I'm doing whatever I got to do to eat you. Think about it. If you were homeless If you were starving, if you didn't have a place to stay, if you needed something, wouldn't you do all that you could to get it? To get that plate? To get that place to stay? To get whatever it is that you need? Or would you have your pride? No, we're going to throw that pride to the side. Men or women. We're going to throw the pride to the side. Yeah, I got to get that plate. I got to get that dinner. Because if I don't eat, at some point, I can die of starvation. That's a fact. So with that being said, y'all, a person is willing to give you all that you need verbally so that they can have all that they need physically. Food, place to stay, things to grab, things to touch, right? Security, whatever it is, y'all. Number 4, it's going to be this right here, y'all. Charisma over character, all right? Charisma over character. You know, y'all, a person who is a wolf in sheep's clothing, they're going to have all the right things to say, right? They're going to have the right energy. They're going to make you feel good, right? You ever had a person to sell you something and they just knew how to sell so well to where you knew you really didn't have it like that, but they made you feel like that product or that service that they were selling, they made it feel like you needed it, right? They made you feel like, well, if I don't buy this, I'm almost losing. Yeah, y'all, because they have been hardwired as salesmen to display and promote your problem and display and promote their solution. Let me say that once again, y'all. As a salesman, they have been hardwired to display and promote your problem so that they can display and promote their solution. Okay, cool. Let me break it down for you even more. I don't have no shoes. I'm looking for shoes. Their job is to say, hey, I got a shoe company and the price is great. Even if the price is still expensive, or even if the price is still, above what you can pay, guess what? You still have a problem. You need shoes, which means what you can pay or what you can't pay overrides what you actually need, right? So this is what they promote. This is what they display. That's the same thing with them, y'all. They have that charisma. A person with character notice how they live, right? But a person who is a character, this is the charismatic person, they live to be noticed. So this is the person who has a camera every time they're giving out some food. Hey, YouTube, look at what I'm doing over here. I'm helping out these homeless people, right? I'm not saying that you can't record certain things like that, but it's a time and a place. I don't have to, hold on, wait 1 second. And then, hey guys, I'm giving my man right here, he been homeless for 50 years. But hey man, tell the people what you think about it. No man, you can do this just on a regular sunny day. You don't got to tell everybody what you're doing. You know how many people Tyler Perry has helped and don't nobody know? How many people Akon has helped, especially his own people in his country, and don't nobody know? This man got a whole solar company in Africa because the power go out so much. But what I'm saying is, don't nobody know. You know why? Because it's genuine. It's not about charisma. It's about their character when it's genuine, okay? But when people only live for the charisma and only want to give you charisma, Riz, they call it. Understand something, y'all? That's a show. That's a show. They doing it for the money. They're not doing it for the people. Y'all remember y'all on Martin, the Vernell Hill show? Where he was like, I do it for the children. And he started crying. He wasn't doing it for the children for real. He was doing it for the money. That's why he only shed a tear. And then after that, he got right back to Vernell. Did you miss me? I'm just being honest, y'all. So that's what we're dealing with when you're talking about a wolf in sheep's clothing. They're only trying to sell you something. They're only trying to get you to buy something. And I'm not just talking about products and services. Sometimes people are selling themselves, right? People are selling a lie. People are trying to get you to buy a dream. Y'all understand what I'm saying, all right? Somebody drop in the comments and say, I'm not buying. Number 5, y'all, it's going to be this right here. They are quick to get angry, all right? They are quick to get angry. You know why this right here is a sign of a wolf in sheep's clothing? Because, y'all, if a person get angry so fast. This means that they have a temper issue, they have anger issues, and they're not like you, all right? You're the type of person where you give people the benefit of the doubt. You're the type of person where you actually see the good in people, right? And you actually want to work things out, right? You're not on a defense mode. When you are defending, it's because you're trying to stop someone from revealing or find out what it is that you're hiding or score. See, like when a person, like I told y'all about the goalie, they're trying to defend the other team from hitting the goal, all right? Just like a center in basketball, they got to defend that goal. Even in football, you got all those defensive backs, linebackers, all those linemen, they're trying to defend the touchdown so the other team don't score. See, these individuals don't want you to score. Score what, Reno? Score true information about them, right? Score knowing their true intentions. Score knowing what they're trying to do. Score knowing that they don't really have true integrity or dignity. Like whatever it is that you're going to score, they don't want you to do that. So they're going to defend. And a lot of times, y'all, that defense mechanism means that they're trying to protect themselves from something or protect their entity from something. Okay? That's a defense mechanism. When people try to defend, it's because they already know that they have a weak spot, an insecure spot, a spot that will expose who they really are. So with that being said, I'm just going to defend it. Imagine if you got a broken shoulder, right? And you trying to play football. Wouldn't you be very defensive to that shoulder? Anybody who walk up to it, Anybody who try to touch it, no, right? That's the same thing with these wolves from sheep clothing, right? When you ask them a question, they get overly defensive. When you try to stand up for yourself, they get overly defensive. When you try to, speak to them about something that affects you or affects your relationship, they get overly defensive, okay? So that is a clear indication and sign of a wolf in sheep's clothing, all right? But with that being said, family, y'all already know how we do. Y'all make sure y'all get one of these Yes Sir t-shirts, get a Yes Sir hoodie, join the Rich Mentality Academy, all right? Y'all be sure to book one of those one-on-one sessions with your boy, and I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Y'all keep a rich mentality. Peace.